What's up to everybody out there? You know me, J Cage again. Today we're going to talk about a billionaire's approach. Now, for all y'all that think this too far-fetched, get out the way and let me talk my shit. Here we go. First of all, if we have any type of product or service, if you pay attention to them, most of the time it's going to be an intermediate. And we know what intermediate means, media, right? That's why, the media is in between our thoughts because they control the media, right? Etc. Buy media companies, start media companies, etc. From news, social media, different things of that nature. Now, what intermediate mean is, acting between, two people, right? Providing service, mediating, intermediate, right? So with that being said, they're connecting people together, right? So if you pay attention to, I'm just saying, the latest companies, Facebook, Uber, Airbnb, right? And the list could go on and on. But these are, three I just came up with top of my head because we understand Facebook came around. You never saw Mark Zuckerberg on no type of photos, etc. But they let everybody put their photos in the shed and different things of that nature. And, they start running ads, etc. Intermediate again, right? Okay, so Uber don't own no rental cars, etc. Don't own no type of transportation vehicle or nothing, but allow people to operate on a platform and get a small percentage, and you take the difference, right? Airbnb, right? They don't own no real estate, right? But they allow you to rent your property out to others, etc. And you can go on and on. So this is the billionaire approach. You pay attention to all these guys that started, high valuation tech companies in 5, 10 years, etc. This is some of their approaches, right? And this only been some of my approaches, right? Because I gotta tell you all the time, you gotta focus on, the bigger pie, right? So what do they do? Like I always tell you, they focus on equity, right? They don't just, they may borrow money here and there down the line, but how do they get started? Selling equity. So they go to, small groups of investors, like we talk about angel investors, other, companies in the industry they may be involved with, etc. And they contribute, to them. So they may sell anywhere between a 5 to 20%, contribution. So they may raise in the beginning stage $200K to $2 million. What that does is, if they wasn't sharp in the area and knew their valuation, this gives them what? Post-money valuation. What a post-money valuation pretty much is estimated worth from outside investors. So they're getting paid just to accept money and say the company is worth now 10 to 15 million. If they multiply 4 times, 5 times, or 10 times, based on maybe, the comparable or the industry they're in, or maybe the projected revenue, or maybe some real revenue coming in, and, they got different ways we talk about that evaluation. So they understand evaluation. That's why I'm big on trying to, like my people, you got to know the valuation of your company if you're trying to raise equity financing to measure the shares. So what happens is, $100 million to $1 billion valuation in 5 to 7 years. This could be case that you can look around and see your family's public traded companies. I think Facebook came around 2004 or 5, somewhere like that. You do the math, you see the valuation when they went public in 12 is way more than $1 billion. I'm assuming. I remember the numbers. I used to be involved with it, kind of paying attention to these things, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so what happens is, some keep their companies private held, like Uber. Uber was private held for money alone. They got a lot of private held companies been private held forever, 20, 30 years. So you got a lot of private held companies that's billion-dollar companies or more, $100 billion companies. You just look on the private market and you can find, you'll see if you can get their valuation, they private held. But Uber, because these unicorn companies, right? So what they do is, Uber was, then I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think they raised about $1 billion, or close to $1 billion, just being private held. Because, type of money these people raise behind the scenes, right? And you start seeing the round 1, round 2, and all them type of funding procedures before, when they go public, etc. And sometimes be private held, they have this type of term. So most take their companies public. Now you look at Amazon, Jeff Bezos, and other guys, eBay, them, they went public within the first 4 or 5 years. This is where fortunes are made, because when they have a great product or service, right, they always need expansion money. So they go public to kind of expand, shareholders, valuation, value, you know what I'm saying? So when they go public, this is another form of a product line, right? So they're selling public shares that issue, I always say a minimum of 10 million shares, but we talking about now the outstanding shares might be up to 100 million on a minimum, you know what I'm saying? That X dollar, penny stocks go up to like what, 5, 6, 7, that's still a penny stock, right? Might hit 10, time to change. So now, stock market prices and changed on certain public trade company we're talking about in this sector right here. Now, because I don't want people to get off track when I'm talking about. I'm not directly talking about public trade. I'm talking about from the private health center to they go public. So, most founders you feel that be billionaires, etc. A lot of their companies that went public. Not saying all of them, all right? So, you gotta think like a billionaire, right? Operate like a bank, okay? It's the surrounding technology that makes the company a fortune, not the physical product, right? Like I just showed you. It's the technology. Even when you look at Tesla makes money off the technology they offer in the cars. It's all electronic, right? Everything electronic. You gotta think about the deal they did with Daimler Mercedes-Benz in Germany, right? He was contract with Mercedes-Benz and got like $700 million, I believe, or so many millions of dollars. And I think Mercedes-Benz sold their stock, or I think, and cashed out of service. So he had a contract with Mercedes, did some type of battery. Elon Musk had the battery factory and things like that. And he bought Maxwell battery, right? So what the thing is, it's the surrounding technology that make these guys a fortune. And how that happen, not just through the copyright, the trademark, the rest, and the IP. That's, you gotta secure your invention, right? But they own the patent. They own the patent. That could be the license, so they can license it out. So that's why a lot of times big companies have up to 200-300 patents that stuff that don't exist. That's why we gotta secure our intellectual property. You might not can't produce the product. Once you own it, if anybody come out, you can say, hey, we own that concept, right? You deal with planks and all them type of things. You see what I'm saying? So they focus on the license, so they could be royalty fee, like franchising fee and things. So they own this patent to this specific technology to a certain extent. They can make money by just, using that for leverage or use it for equity, because investors might come and won't just invest specific in this technology that they came up with. So this is pretty much the side, how, most of your favorite billionaires, etc., become billionaires. It's a different millionaires and billionaires. The reason why they dilute their stock, they sell their companies off, right? Most millionaires, they hold 100% ownership, 80% ownership. These people sell out they stake in their company. They might dilute it down, and when you look at it, 13, 14%, 30% of the company. So the amount of the shares they can sell private and public, this is the primary product line, stock. Because by issuing stock and shares, all crypto, because you issue crypto, I was big into issuing my own crypto, right? Crypto is like issuing your own currency. So what that means? So now you're issuing your own form of money, your currency. So stock is equity. You know what I'm saying? So you can use that and leverage and borrow against that. You know what I'm saying? So this way that is actually created outside of equity. I'm saying it could be both ways, but most times they focus on the equity side of the company. So what happens is stock is one thing, and it creates shares. So it's just like you take this block and you breaking down shares. So that's why you got stock and you got shares. The primary founding step, most gonna have a stock, right? It can represent the shares, right? Or vice versa. So they trade what? Blocks of shares, 50,000 shares. You start seeing these companies, big boy behind the scene, they trade blocks of shares, right? Through the frequency trading, algorithm, bot trade, whatever that, going, through the trades. So we'll talk more about that too, right? And they move, millions and billions of dollars on a regular basis. Now over here, this is the difference. Anybody you see on social media, including myself, we still not doing nothing big enough. Why? Because they don't teach their knowledge like talking about it. Why? Only conclusion I can tell you right now is they're too busy acquiring other companies and controlling the big operation. Example, I always tell y'all, pay attention to what these people do behind the scenes and things that, put yourself in a better position, right? Study the system. Fuck the individual, the system. Okay, for example, Google founders Larry Page and Sergey Brin acquired over 200 companies for Facebook. They own over 200 companies. Facebook probably got about 100 too. People just see, in Google Alphabet. So with that being said, this the power of acquisitions, right? A target company, that's what they consider a target company, right? A target company could own multiple subsidiaries, 1, 2, 3, and the list going. They could buy one company that got so many other assets and so many different subsidiaries, etc., to it be created. Like Uncle Reg, he bought it and had, I think, 100 some chains of foods, food operations, things of that nature, right? Which was, but I'm talking about they might buy on their own different companies in different industries, right? They buy. So what do they invest in? Look, what do they invest in? Tech companies, right? They invest into other tech companies. Why? Because tech companies, you know what I'm saying, is some of the, greatest companies that we done saw, right? What else they do? They invest into the finance sector. That could be a fintech company, the same thing. These fintech companies come around, they issue all type of service and products for, banking purpose and things of that nature. So they want in on that. Let me come in and buy part of that. Infrastructure, when these countries are being built, towns are being built, they invest in the infrastructure, right? The infrastructure leads into the emerging markets, right? So the emerging markets, what they're investing into, right? And we go back again and invest into private held company before they actually go public. So by the time they go public, their money tripled. Look at Nas. Nas had a stake into Coinbase. When they went public, that shot his net worth up. They were saying worth $400 million. He had diversity of companies, startups. Jay-Z do the thing. Private equity, venture capital. They invest into these companies behind the scene, You see other guys like ML Billion and, a few other guys that I see. They understand the private equity market. They buy up companies. They ain't just focus on a public traded company. They want to buy the private health set when it's first coming out, good projection and things of that nature. Okay, they own and control REITs, real estate investment trusts. So when they buy real estate, they're buying on a big scale, bulk of resident properties, commercial real estate, hospitals, and things of that nature. They do deals still in real estate, but they do it through a restructure. They have hedge funds. They might have a hedge fund affiliate that they using to actually manage other people's money and things of that nature too, right? Then they got their family on, like I talked about. They got their family office. They actually, manage all their family wealth. You see what I'm saying? Circulated surplus money going to the private and public market. Then they got the sovereign wealth fund. More you see that, more your Middle Eastern guys, like the House of Saudi, things of that nature, Saudi Arabia, them guys that combine together, work trillions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? Now, with that being said, they operate in different structures, right? Through these type of structures here. So, why I say that? Because you look at the guy, Arthur Hayes, about 37 years old, created Big Mix, $1 trillion operation that let you trade different, derivatives through, different cryptocurrency. You don't see him nowhere on social media, right? Black guy, they indict him and say he gonna be all right. But the point I'm showing you, this is why billionaires don't teach no type of knowledge and courses. Like, you don't see Mark Zuckerberg showing you how he built Facebook. We had to study and pay attention to different mechanics of things, and we start understanding what happens. And you might say it's a theory, but we got case studies, how stuff happened, and how stuff went wrong, how stuff went right, etc. You see a lot of millionaires, teaching and, exposing what they know and stuff, because they still got a little bit more time to look for freedom. These guys don't have no freedom in bed. These guys got to work and put work into their company and expand it to the next level still. Like Tesla and them, they still is looking for more. So with that being said, they teach you work for their campus. You work for these big operations. You see all these, the Jeff Bezos, all the people that work there for them, they brainstorm and start their own. So you want to learn, you might have to work for them and get involved with them and see what's going on. But this today, I'm just bringing you an episode today based on the billionaire approach. So if you still got $1 million mindset, let's step it up a little. And let's get on board. Let's get on the same accord. Let's do this shit for real, man. It's time to be a billionaire and $1 trillion tech companies, etc. Funds and different things, whatever we need to do, and understand capitalists to the extremists to get our community back in the artist for the be. And I'm out, J. Cage again, bringing you another wealth education, episodes, course, content, beautiful, licensing things out to you. And this should be my last time being prepping, because I know what they do. While I'm wasting time just, sitting around doing courses, and I just do content like I used to write raps and things like that. But you see, I'm a doer at the end of the day, so I'm not just teaching, son. I'm actually doing it, and I like to bring a few people with me so they can be hands-on and see what the hell's going on. So they won't think I'm just sick and insane, perfectly insane. I'm out. Later. Peace to everyone out there.